let's have a look at Ring of Fire with Farron Cousins. He recently discussed the Ron DeSantis case regarding an unconstitutional firing of his AG, and the judge ruling against him. But of course, this is America, which means no actual punishment was given. You'll see why.
A federal judge in the state of Florida late last week ruled that Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis had in fact not only violated the Florida state constitution, but also violated the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution when he improperly suspended State Attorney Andrew Warren, who was an elected official. So technically, right, I mean, DeSantis really didn't have the authority to suspend the guy, so Warren had sued Ron DeSantis for suspending him from his job.
Yeah, let me correct there. Not Attorney General, State Attorney. My mistake.
And DeSantis had claimed, I'm suspending you because you're one of many people around here who've apparently signed on to an agreement to not prosecute people under Florida's anti-abortion laws. And the judge determined, like, that wasn't a thing that even happened. And of course, Warren had denied from the beginning, like, that's not a thing that happened. That's not a thing that exists. You're suspending me over make-believe, and you're the one who made it up. You just want to get rid of me because you don't like me politically.
Yeah, that's also known as the standard Republican playbook. It's the same reason why we currently don't have the little cartoon M&M spokespeople. It's a made-up problem that Republicans then say, we got to do something about. It's how they handle everything.
And the judge agreed. Here's what the judge had to say. Mr. Warren's well-established policy, followed in every case by every prosecutor in the office, was to exercise prosecutorial discretion at every stage of every case. Any reasonable investigation would have confirmed this. In his opinion, there was not a hint of misconduct by Mr. Warren. So, case closed, right? Warren wins. Awesome. Except no.
What do we say happens every single time that a Republican can't get out of being ruled against? As in, to find in their favor would literally undo our justice system. What happens every single time? It gets kicked from the criminal court to the civil court. Every time we say this. Well, the judge just said, Mr. DeSantis, what you said was wrong. In fact, you violated Florida's state constitution. In fact, you violated the Constitution of the country. Is the judge going to, let's go light, is the judge going to make Ron DeSantis issue a public statement saying that he was incorrect in doing so? Is the judge going to fine Ron DeSantis, which wouldn't be fair, but, because, rich people have more money, a fine means less? Maybe. Or is the judge going to follow the standard Republican cover-up playbook? Let's find out. Farron Cousins, what was it?
Because even though the judge said, Ron DeSantis, you violated the Florida Constitution, you violated the U.S. Constitution, this guy was right, you were wrong, but I'm still going to go ahead and rule in your favor. And he dismissed the lawsuit.
Dismissed the lawsuit.
And the reason he says is because, hey, listen, Andrew Warren, hey, you're a nice guy, you're 100% right, this guy's violating the Constitution left and right, but I can't restore you to office.
Could have ordered Ron DeSantis to do a lot of things. Could have approached it from the point of view of, what does Ron DeSantis have to do as a consequence of this? How can we make Ron DeSantis make this right in the people's eyes? Could have done that. What did they do instead?
So I can't rule in your favor. So, that's our justice system for you. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's worse.
Bye. That's it. That's what the judge determined.
No, say what's the excuse.
So Ron DeSantis just gets away with it. Like, he literally just gets away with it. The judge confirmed that you politically targeted this guy. You violated his constitutional rights. You violated the Constitution overall. He's right. You're wrong. You lied. He told the truth. Ron DeSantis, you win.
I'm waiting to hear it.
Why bother? Why? Nothing matters.
Civil court.
Nothing matters. In this country, or at least in this state where I am right now, Florida, nothing matters. The rule of law doesn't matter. Because they will do nothing. Even if you're right. Even if the other side is wrong. Nothing. This is just utter insanity. And my mind is blown by this judge's decision. And it's basically a cop-out. But what Mr. Warren can, of course, use this for now is he's got the ruling saying you did violate the Constitution. So he can now sue for damages against Ron DeSantis, which, hey, is great. But it still doesn't correct the injustices that this man served that apparently the court system is willing to do absolutely nothing to correct.
Yep. Standard playbook. So what judges do, because they are very uncomfortable holding a conservative responsible for anything, what they do, or a powerful person in general responsible for anything. And if they're a conservative, powerful person, my God, forget it. What a judge will do is kick it over to civil court. He didn't write an order saying take this to civil court. It's the options that are left in their wording. They will say, I don't have the authority to X, Y, or Z. And it will be known then that as long as you have enough money to start a whole lawsuit, as long as you have the money to afford an attorney to hold another rich person accountable, because you can't do this if you aren't yourself wealthy. If you don't at least have state's attorney money, a law degree, probably a car that starts with a button instead of a turning of a key, one of those types. You don't have that, you have no justice available to you. If you are that guy, you can gamble your money against the other person's money and try to sue them in court, where you will have the same uphill battle. You'll recall earlier, I was saying if you are from one of these states, you should strongly consider contacting your state AG and saying you want a state investigation opened into the fake electors case. Not an accident that we have that Ring of Fire clip. We need to make it so obvious, the law breaking that has happened, so obvious that ignoring it becomes impossible. The neat thing about these cases are that they all deal with voter fraud. They all deal with the fake elector plot. They all deal with disenfranchising an entire state. You cannot kick that over to civil court. We must pursue these. These are realistic options. The only green check mark up there that is specifically for the fake electors cases came from Dana Nessel, who cited in an interview on MSNBC with Ari Melber, pressure from her constituents. That means phone calls, emails from people living in Michigan. She said, how can I answer to my constituents if I don't do this? Every one of the attorneys general for those states are Democrats. They should be asking themselves the same things, because right now, they're going to act like that Florida judge. They think not enough people are watching. They don't have to take up this difficult fight. They don't have to be the one to stick their neck out and get the death threats from Trump cultists. They're in purple states. They don't want those death threats. In Michigan, the governor was nearly kidnapped by the Wolverine Watchmen, a terrorist group. I can say that now because guess what? They've been convicted. Terrorist group which had a whole plan involved blowing up a bridge and kidnapping the governor, holding a kangaroo court, and then executing her. So they're not going to do this unless they know that you're watching and that you care and that you insist they do it. So insist. Otherwise, we're going to get more of the same, which thus far has been a whole lot of injustice in what is supposed to be a democracy.